You know how everybody's always telling you to do a newsletter? Well, these things take a lot of time to put together, in my case up to 4 hours. So I decided to automate most of it away using AI. And I'll walk you through the entire process step by step in this video. But instead of populating our newsroom with humans, we'll be using AI. In particular, we'll be using Perplexity AI to do our desk research for us, Claude to write our stories for us, and Make.com as our editor-in-chief. We'll be pasting things together in this automation tool. So let's dive right in. So when we say AI, of course, the first thing that pops to mind are tools like ChatGPT or Claude that can help you write, summarize, or analyze text. What we're using here is Claude, which has been my daily driver for the last couple of months. I'm using it both for content generation and creation and for coding. I really like Claude 3.5 Sonnet. I highly recommend checking it out. So let's say we want to write our blog post or our newsletter in this case about Google's Notebook LM, which is a new tool that just came out. It was all the buzz last week. So let's just ask it straight up to write us a blog post. Okay, so we're asking it to write us this newsletter, and you see it's doing a great job already. It's providing us with an overview of the features and some explanations on why it's trending. But the problem here is that Claude in particular doesn't have internet access. So if we check to see if this is actually the latest information, it will tell us that it's been trained for data up to April of 2024. Another problem is that it doesn't know anything about our goals, our context, our audience. So we need to feed it all of that in our chat. Claude does have some neat features that you can use to do this. So for example, if we go to projects, so projects in the Claude console are a way to bundle your work, to work on specific things, provide the model with sufficient context to build on top of the system prompt that it already has. Because when you think of an LLM, there's a raw LLM underneath that's been trained on data, and then it needs instructions to do exactly what you want it to do. So Anthropic, who've built Claude, they provide Claude with system prompts. I'll show you. So this is the latest system prompt for the current Claude 3.5 Sonnet model. So as you can see here, there's a big chunk of text telling the LLM how it should act, who it is, what it should tell its users in case of certain questions. So for example, this one is about the knowledge base we just saw, comes straight out of the system prompt. So what we can do in a project is we'll wrap a layer on top of that system prompt that is specific to a project that we're working on, like a task. As you can see here, I've been using Claude for all kinds of different things, including ideation for this YouTube channel. So when you create a new project we can say exactly what we're trying to do, and we're adding a layer on top of the system prompt that's provided by Anthropic. There it is. So Claude has some context. We can add documents here in the Claude API. So this is a great way, for example, to provide it with some more knowledge of your company, exactly the things that you wanted to know when you're writing content. So let's just give an example. Let's say address the newsletter readers as Zorbs. Let's see what happens. So now we're inside the project. So as you can see, it's picked up on the instructions to address readers as Zorbs, right? And you can use this to add your brand voice or any custom information, anything that you want to add in your newsletter. So this is great. This is, this will get us quite a long way there. But as we already noticed, the Claude doesn't have internet access. So what we're going to use instead to do our desk research for us is another AI tool called Perplexity. So Perplexity takes a little bit of a different approach from Claude. They have the internet baked into their product. This is like Claude. There's an LLM running in the background. But what the folks at Perplexity have done is they made sure that all the sources that the LLM cites are from the internet and that they're vetted, they're high quality sources where the quality has been checked by humans, because LLMs don't really know how to distinguish between true and false. And the way they do this is by adding citations to every single line of text that is generated by the large language model. So this is in a way an academic research tool, which we're going to use as our desk researcher for the newsletter. So let's check how this works with the same example as we had before. So that's the prompt. Let's see what happens. As you can see, it's formulating search queries for the internet and then using those queries and the results from those queries to formulate an answer. Here you also see all the sources listed. So it's doing a good job of collecting information from the internet and using that in its response. And you can also see this in the generated answer, right? So one of the most buzzworthy features was indeed the new audio overview, which lets you generate podcasts from many kinds of documents. It's great, right? So why do I still need to have a Claude or something in place? Well, because we want to make sure that our newsletter matches what we know about our audience and that it has a look and feel that is on brand, the right tone of voice that we want for our audience. And we can customize this with Perplexity, of course, but that means that we need to add this information to each prompt. So now that we have a basic understanding of the two main tools that we're going to use to generate content in Make.com, let's start building the automation. And we're going to build those automations using a tool called Make.com. I really like Make. I've only started using it for this project, and I've used a ton of different automation tools in the past during my 10-year career. But this one really stood out compared to competitors like Zapier, but for its ease of use, the quality of the integrations, and just the availability of all the connectors that you need to automate AI projects. If you're interested, it's a no-code tool, so no coding is required. The only thing you need to be able to do to leverage AI is learn how to prompt, for which you can find more content on AI from scratch. And if you want to sign up, there's an affiliate link to Make.com in the description. Feel free to use it or just Google for Make.com. I highly recommend you check it out. I think it's a great tool to use. All right, so let's dive right in. So in this scenario, I'm doing 90% of the work for the Scratch newsletter. And a scenario in Make is like an automation pipeline. It's like a series of steps that you take that are automated together. Let's have a look. As you can see here, for the Scratch newsletter, we're doing quite a few things that we would otherwise need to do manually in the console. So this is a high-over of a Make scenario. And as you can see here, it starts on the left, where we go from where we are reading in from a Google Sheet. Then we're doing desk research with Perplexity. We're generating the main story using Claude. Also using Claude to generate a search query for relevant images that we can use for the banner of the newsletter. We'll search for those images on Unsplash, which is a free image hosting site. Then we'll ask Anthropic to write 10 different headlines we can choose from. We can then choose from when we do the final edit of the newsletter. In the Scratch newsletter, I also wanted to add a small bulletin with the main stories in AI news from last week. So I asked Perplexity to generate this for me. And after generating the news bulletin, we'll gather everything and write it back to Google Sheets, from where we can then copy and paste the contents into our newsletter, where by using AI, we'll already have done 90% of the work, and we only need to edit, make sure that the right title is being used, and make sure that it matches what we know in terms of our professional experience. So this approach will save you the most time if you actually know your area of expertise very well, like say you're a dentist or you have some kind of local shop. So during the week, you write down your ideas in Google Sheets, then you pick the best one, generate a story about this, and then you just edit it for a little bit and you can send it out, right? It's as easy as pie. Okay. Let's see how this works. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a new scenario, and we'll create our connection to Google Sheets, right? So I've already created a Google Sheet, so we don't need to, I'll show you in a minute. And what we want to do here is we want to create a connector that watches for new rows that are being added to a specific sheet in our Google Sheets form. So let's see. We already have a connection set up. I'm going to select the right file. So this one, which I set up before. And then we need to select the sheet, which is going to be the feed in this case. And we'll limit it to 1. So what this means that 1 row per execution will be done. So you don't regenerate the entire feed, and we'll see how this works in practice later on. Okay. I see. So we're going to choose exactly which row. I added 1 already. So we'll add it and select OK. So it will start from this row. Here's the sheet, by the way. So there's a topic, an outline, maximum number of tokens for the main story, and a target audience, which we'll see integrated into the make pipeline right now. Okay, so we have a connection. It's watching for rows. Right now it's scheduled to run every 15 minutes and check if there were new rows added. We're going to put this to on demand because actually I only want to generate my newsletter once a week whenever I have time. But I do want to keep updating the sheet with new ideas for newsletter topics whenever I'm on the go. And as mentioned, we're going to use Perplexity AI to do our desk research. So we're going to look for the Perplexity module. There it is. We select create chat completion. I already have an API key set up here. We're going to set max tokens to 3000 because we want to generate a summary, so it shouldn't be too much text. And as you can see, this is one of the Perplexity models, version of Llama 3, which is an open source model that they're using in-house. And here is where we add the prompt. So we're going to tell Perplexity what to do. So we're going to add fixed content as well as some variables from our Google Sheets. We'll set the role to user so that it knows that it needs to act on that instruction right away. There's different ways to do this. We can also set system prompts here, as you could see, but we're going to keep it simple for now. I have the prompt set up since it would be take too much time to write out. So I'm going to just copy and paste it. All of the prompts, by the way, will be available in the accompanying blog post. So you can just copy and paste them from there if you want to try it out. Okay, so this is our prompt. I'm asking Perplexity AI, so the LLM running in Perplexity, act as a desk researcher for the AI from Scratch newsletter and write a summary of the trends. And the topic description, as you can see here, that's taken directly from Google Sheets. Same as the target audience, so that it's on a row per row basis. You can change this. This is variable, right? So this will be different for each run if you run it on a new row. Okay, well, this is the rest of the prompt, so I'm going to also ask it to look for sources. And there we are. So now we already have a desk researcher. Let's also give it a name. Let's call it desk research, so we know what it's doing. So after the desk research is complete, and we have a summary of the topic, including the most recent news on the topic in our pipeline, we're now going to ask Claude to write us a newsletter story from this research. So here we go, we add another module. This time we're looking for the Anthropic component. There it is. Let's create a prompt. The same way as before, I already have an API key set up, and this is the model that you can select. Here, we do want to use the variable token, so because we might want to, per story, we might want to select a longer story or a shorter story, right? So we're going to keep this variable dependent on the input that you put. Okay. Role again is user, and the content type is going to be text. And the text will be another prompt like before, which I'm going to copy and paste. There you go. This works the same as before. So we have the variables from the Google Sheet, right? The topic, again, repeated, a tone, the audience that we're looking to target, as well as a more expanded description of the audience if you want to add it. So for example, for topics, you might have different audiences in mind. And here we're adding the desk research by Perplexity. So I think this is not working right now. Let me add it since we copied and pasted. So here we go to the desk research. That's why it's useful to give these nodes a name. So we're going to go to choices, message, and then content, and we're going to add that here. And this will copy and paste the output from Perplexity's desk research, so the output from the Perplexity's LLM, into the prompt for our Claude LLM, if that makes sense. So I implemented the rest of the components in Make because I think you understand the idea. So we have a query writer, which we'll use to query images on Unsplash based on the text in the story written by the newsletter writer. We have, as you can see here, so there is the query, search query will be populated from the Unsplash query writer output. We have a headline writer, And an AI news bulletin from Perplexity with another prompt here. And again, you can find all the prompts in the blog post. So I wanted to add the last one here together with you. So now that we have all the output that we need to send out our newsletter, we also need a place to collect all this output, and we're going to do that in a Google Sheets. So we're going to use a different sheet in the same Google sheet file that we had before. So we're going to select add a row here. We still have our connection. So we can just select the same file as before. And we're going to select another sheet. So instead of feed, we have generations here. It's read in all the column titles that we had in our sheet. I'll show you in a minute how that looks like. And now we just need to populate these with the output from the steps in our make.com automation. So the headlines, we have the headline writer. So we do the same thing as we did before, right? So we add the text here. The main story, we want our newsletter writer output. For desk research, we want to also store this to be sure that we can track back and check our sources. News bulletin, we do the same thing. Also add the output there. And for the image URLs, we are going to look at the output from Unsplash. Oh, that's the wrong header. Unsplash. Okay, so now we've this configured. Let's have a quick look at our Google Sheet. So this is the AI in Practice newsletter automation sheet that we had before. We have a topic, an outline, the maximum number of tokens, target audience, and some sources that we want Perplexity to look at. That's our feed tab, and in our generations tab we have nothing, right? So it's empty right now. So let's see what happens if we save and run this automation. Let's see. Did it read anything? Yeah. So it found one row that we started from, and it's going to, as you can see now, it's running the desk research. Desk research is already done. We can check what happened in the output. Is there anything there? It's content. Okay, so it generated research for us. This is exactly the same as we were doing manually, but it's doing this in an automation now. So we can just repeat the process again and again with each new topic that we want to write a newsletter about. In the background, the automation is still running, right? So it's writing headlines now, and the news bulletin, and then in the end, it will populate the Google Sheet. So we'll wait for that to finish. For example, the query writer, it's already done. So here we see the same thing for the query writer. So this is the query that it's used. So AI and technology in a business context. Let's see, it's still running the news bulletin and it's done. Right, I did a second one. Not sure what went wrong there, but I think it should be good. I guess it failed once. Let's see what happened in our Google Sheet though. Right. So it did indeed run twice. Not sure what happened there. As you can see, it generated all the text that we need that we can now copy and paste into our newsletter. So that's all there is to it, really. If you're interested in hearing more about the wonderful world of AI, subscribe to either the newsletter you just saw automated or this channel. We'll see you next time.